Is there any moment that you are especially fond of in the series as it turned out? Just like this moment, my favorite moment in my neck, my favorite gag in my neck, anything like that. That just sounds weird. My favorite gag in my neck. Hell yeah. It's staying in. It's staying. Holy shit, you have no idea what you're in for. It is available to purchase on Amazon Video. It is around $10 for a season jam-packed with what is probably the most wonderful, ridiculous bullshit I have seen in my entire life. It is expertly produced. It's put together with so much love, care, attention to detail, production quality, and all-around talent that for the first time, I'm left saying that maybe it's not impossible to capture the spirit of anime in a live-action format after all. We have a full house today, so thank you so much for coming on. If we can get you to say your name and what your role is in the production, that would be wonderful, starting with you, director Joey.
My name is Joey Springer. I'm the director, creator, producer, editor, cinematographer of my neck.
I am Weston Young, and I play Net Kid in this show.
I'm Xavier. You can call me Keo. I'm sound producer and
an executive producer.
And an executive production credit. That's big, Keo. Hell yeah.
That's true.
So a couple of Brotakus first today. So this is our first live action anime we're discussing since Dragon Ball Evolution, and so that is big for us. Weston, this is the first time I know somebody in a live action production that we're involved with, so it is great to see you. Weston and I did go to school together. He's a fantastic actor. We've played Dungeons and Dragons. And Keo, this is the first time anybody has ever shown up to Brotakus with a fully kitted out, badass looking furry anime VTuber like face rig. This is amazing. I have not seen Keo's real face yet. I do not need to. So getting into the substance of today, my neck. A lot of people are probably thinking, my neck, what is that about? And the title is very self-evident, but Joey, I would like for you to kind of give me the pitch of what a viewer can expect when coming into my neck.
Sure. My Neck is a live-action anime-inspired web series. It's pretty much tries to take the essence of shonen anime and combine it into a live-action setting. We call it kind of like a parody of anime, but it tells an original story with original characters that are both a parody and a testament of what potentially live-action anime could look like if it was a thing. We call it live-action anime inspired because there's no such thing as live-action anime. It's not a thing. But it's a ridiculous show with a lot of energy, thanks to the incredible cast that brings such energy, like our man Weston here.
So moving on with from the aesthetic itself, Weston, you are Neck Kid, right? So, Weston, please, if you can, lead our lovely listeners down the path in a journey to understanding the wonderful art of necking.
Well, the art of necking is everyone is born with a sigil on the back of one's neck in this world.
Like a JoJo star, right?
Yeah. And they different symbols represent different clans or ancestral lines. And hitting the back of the neck becomes an art form because your life is tied to your neck as well. So hitting the back of one's neck decreases the lifespan of your opponent. So that's where that kind of comes in. It becomes a full art form, the art form of necking, in full martial art, you know.
And so what we see develop pretty quickly is that the art of necking, which is entirely centered on like getting to this one back spot of the opponent's neck, there is anime style like teleportation and fighting and twists, and this is all pulled together by the boldest, and I am offended that you made this editing style work, Joey. I am disgusted by how well this all works and how much fun it is to watch, because it is the most ambitious, incredible framing of all this, and I'm really curious if you can describe how you chose to heighten these blows and the effects that you used in the editing process. What are the things that are kind of elevating the combat of my neck?
That's a great question. I think it comes down to the idea of what. So when you think of live action anime, there's different, I guess, adaptations of what that could look like. And so, like, thinking of like the aesthetic, as you mentioned, I thought, like, what if you took like kind of cartoonish, like what was the famous one that did it? What's the basketball movie with all the Looney Tunes?
Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Space Jam, yeah. Things like that, taking like those kind of cartoony elements and bringing it into a live action setting, and kind of like just playing with it on an indie budget, and kind of making it like a real life anime. You know, you don't usually see things like that. And usually, like when you type in live action anime, like you do get results on like TikTok and like Instagram and like Facebook and YouTube, and it's usually like live action stories centered around like characters inspired by like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z and stuff, but they don't have that look, that style that anime brings. Like there's too much seriousness, and so with my neck, I wanted to make it very comedic, and through that, the visual style that you see in it, with like, you know, the neck slaps, the emotion, the little like emojis that pop up near the heads and stuff. So kind of giving it that comedic twist, because it hasn't been anything that I've seen before. Usually it's taken pretty seriously.
I think that that's a great point, and something that I need to give you a special props for is that the tone that you struck is one in which I think that going for straight parody, you know, it's so the domain of there's so many great people doing it on YouTube and TikTok, but what grounds this and makes this so special is the commitment to the bit, the genuineness, and the way in which this feels like a love letter to the art form, and the lore of the world, the sense of it is fully fleshed out in a way where it never feels like watching this that I'm rolling my eyes about the logic of the world or how things operate. It feels constantly like I am drawn into this like very magical and fully dedicated world of necking in which everybody knows about it. Some people are not very big fans of the neckists, like Porch Guy. And I guess just coming in here actually to talk about Porch Guy, Joey, I Googled you immediately after Porch Guy appeared, because Porch Guy's running gag is calling the neckists the neckers and telling them to get out of town. He hates them, ruining the property value. Immediately, I was like, what does this motherfucker look like? And I'm like, the second I found you, I'm like, he's good. He's good. Because like, this is the funniest shit. And then when Elitist Neck and I'm so sorry. What is the name of the excellent woman? Yes, Neck Ninja. When they like go and beat the shit out of this like clearly racist Porch Guy, just really, really wonderful. So, I am curious about, in developing the rules of the world and the way that this works, how did you find, or what did you do to work on striking that balance of tone?
That's a great question. So, fun fact: when I wrote the script, the initial script, it took a week to do, and that was because I had this idea for me, Keo and another friend of mine. We had came up with like this little idea of we'll call it like the pre-version of what my neck was before like it was written and all that. And so like I took that idea and kind of like fleshed it out within a week and wrote the whole script. And like to be quite honest, the script wrote itself. I feel like I didn't even like touch it or like think about it. Like it just all came through. So like when you talk about like the balance and where that comes from, it I don't know, God or something. it just appeared on paper, man.
That's a goddamn excellent question. Keo, I'm curious, what did you feel when you started developing this idea? Was this like a co-creation process? Was this just two friends riffing and like bullshitting about this idea? What was it like for you?
Well, at first it was definitely like we were just kind of talking shit, and like we're just
Nice.
we're kind of like reminiscing about like high school and like grammar school things that came into play, and then like we started getting really into the idea of making it, because we always have like these little ideas and we're like, yeah, we should make that into something, and this time we were like, no, we're actually gonna freaking do this, and that's how it became a thing at this point.
Fantastic. And now, in the same spirit, Weston, how did you land the role of Neck Boy, of Neck Kid?
I saw the ad, I think on Facebook in 2019. I was about to graduate from college, and the first thing of job opening I saw was for live action anime. Lead actor, Neck Kid, this age range, and I was like, I gotta see a script. This is insane.
Yes.
And I just started getting into anime that year as well, so which kind of drew me to it too. And then I get the script in my hand, and I think the audition script was it was just a scene between Neck Kid and Elitist Neck, one of the first early scenes between them training. And I'm just laughing my head off, reading that with my roommates and my girlfriend at the time, or my girlfriend, she's still my girlfriend.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we're laughing. We're like, is this good? Should you audition? And I was like, I don't know if it's good or not, but I really want to meet this guy. Who wrote this? Where did this come from? And I was somehow drawn to it. Like, I don't know why, but I was like, this is really fun. I feel like I could put a lot of energy into the character. And because it was live action, it wasn't just me having to voice act. It wasn't just me having to be crazy. It was like, no, you're actually developing a character, but still bring that heightened energy to it, something. And that was really what drew me to it in the end, and why I just enjoyed auditioning, and then getting the part was... I don't know what I was expecting, if I was expecting to get the part, and I don't think I was expecting to get the part, but when I did, I was like, okay, I'm fully invested, let's watch Naruto.
Yeah. So Joey, what was the difference maker? Why did Weston land Neck Kid?
Oh my gosh, he is Neck Kid. Are you kidding me? It was a no-brainer. Weston walked in, and his audition blew me away. I was hooked. I was like, he left that day, and I was like, yeah, he has the part. There's like, I think we had other auditions that day too for Neck Kid, and I was just like, yep, that's him.
Hell yeah, booked and blessed, man, booked and blessed. And so in terms of the rest of the cast, Marcus and the rest of the people involved, was that all done through a casting call?
Yeah, so it was a very similar casting call to what Weston's seen there. Kind of just put it out there for all the different characters, and got quite a bit of different responses. Some of the people who auditioned were also like, live action anime, like what is it? How am I supposed to like act this out? You know, such a weird thing. But yeah, we had quite a few interesting auditions. Loved Weston's though. He blew my mind away. Absolutely nailed it, killed it.
Which is
hell
fun.
Yeah.
When we did get on set, I don't think I still ever fully understood until I actually saw it edited together. But just us talking, trying to really nail what you had envisioned in your head and what I had gathered from the script in my own study. And trying to balance character study with the physicality and matching it all together. I'm so glad it came together, because I was still nervous in the end. I was not really... I was just kind of anxious about it. Like, is this going to be good? Am I doing a good job being an anime character, but also being myself in live action? So I'm so glad it did, because not that I was nervous about Joey or any of the crew or cast. It was just like, what is this going to look like? Because I don't think anyone but Joey really had a clear picture in their head of what this is finally going to look like.
Yeah, and that very much reminds me of Star Wars. If you watch any of the behind the scenes interviews with like Han Solo and or not Han Solo, Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill, they very much said a very similar thing where they're like, we're doing these things, we're talking to this like giant dog and these like robots, like what is this going to look like? What is this going to sound like? And then they seen it and they enjoyed it. It became a classic. So that's funny that you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm. It was funny. We just made my roommates to prepare for the interview. We were all like, "Let's watch it again," and we were watching the post credit bloopers and stuff, and they're like, I think the same thing. You're just like, you are Nick.
It's very true.
Role you were born to play. It's your Hamlet.
Yeah.
Keo, working with the audio and the co-production, were you recording like just like handling the boom and stuff, or did you contribute to sound design as well?
Well, both. Mainly because like when it came to getting certain shots and certain sounds, like you know. As a sound guy, I have to pretty much go everywhere. Right. So like I'm like behind bushes. I'm in holes. I'm like full of sand everywhere. Like it's so much stuff like I just had to do. So like be whether I'm far away or close up. So like it revolves around sound design as well as just holding the boom mic for an hour above my head.
And something I was so struck by was the overall professionalism of this production. It is something where at every step of the way, the taste that was demonstrated in terms of like the very highly saturated color balance, making everything pop like a great anime would, the really, really crisp audio, everything being captured so damn well, and then the sound effects matched perfectly point to point, moment to moment with these swings here. I am really interested in, Joey, the background of this is called your production company is Real Digital Glitch?
Real Life Glitch Entertainment.
Real Life Glitch Entertainment. And I watched in preparation for this because like Nardwar, I got to know it. Aura, the last film that I was able to find on the IMDb, I think from 2017. And it had what was definitely a prototypical Neckmaster involved in that. But what wasn't really clear to me and what I was confused by is that it was still very interesting. It was very, very funny. It was definitely dealing in some of the same aesthetics. The level of production quality has skyrocketed from that to My Neck to the point where like My Neck felt to me like it had a whole team behind this editing process instead of just you. So I'm kind of curious how you pulled this off in the 2-year period.
Let's see. I would say lots of persistence. I kind of just locked myself away for like 2 years and worked on the thing. I'm like one of the few people in the world in which COVID, like at least a part of COVID, positively affected like kind of like my situation due to like work. Being furloughed for a while, having all that time to edit while technically getting paid and stuff like that. So it's a blessing in disguise on my end, but just a lot of editing and sacrifice too, because I like sacrificed a lot of valuable time that could have been spent with like family and friends and stuff like that. But it was a thing that I really, really wanted to see come to life. And so like at the time, I think I was also editing on a very crappy computer too. So that kind of slowed the process down too. I did upgrade, which did speed things up a bit. But yeah, 2 years of editing. If I had a team, it probably would have came out much, much sooner. So I think we started in 2019, right? Was it?
Yeah.
2019 of shooting. And we just released 2021. So yeah, 2 years. So yeah, it's just with one person takes much longer than it would with a team.
Yeah, totally. I'm curious about what was your like education or training background to get here, because to direct and produce and you look like a younger guy and edit at this level. I'm kind of curious where, I mean, did you go to school for this? Have you worked on like many films before this? What was that like for you?
Oh, excuse me. So yeah, I started off in like 8th grade, just loving film and stuff like that. I did go to school for film in both high school. I went to Buffalo Academy for Visual and Performing Arts. I did, to be honest, I didn't really learn much there, but I did like meet some cool people and like establish valuable friendships. So that's always great. Feel very similar about college, going to school for film. Going to school for film in college, did learn some things here and there. But to be quite honest with you, all the like visual effects, at least from that side of things, like the editing, the technical stuff, actually came from like YouTube. Just figuring out like, hey, I want to,
Hell yeah.
yeah, like, hey, I want to try to achieve this effect. How do I do it? And then YouTube is a great like starting place. So highly recommend if you're a filmmaker or just really any artist in general, YouTube is your best friend. It's like a free school.
Yeah, absolutely. Weston actually learned to act off of YouTube, and so that
Seriously? I didn't know that.
No. Weston's excellent. He's done a lot of fantastic things. Just breaking my friend's balls. Speaking of breaking balls, there was a pretty heavy ball kick in here, followed by an immediate disintegration in my neck. Weston, the combat training for you, and you're engaging with combat with such combat aficionados like John Cristiano. I am curious, what was the experience of bringing to life such outlandish choreography while still selling it and making it feel so good? How do you feel like you work towards that?
That was interesting because on set that was like a back and forth between us, like. Trying to like incorporate other styles, because sometimes we'd have a guy on set to do a fight who's like, oh, I'm a Wing Chun guy, I'm a long fist kung fu guy, and we learned lots of different styles of martial arts, and I think incorporated a lot of them too. But then also doing the very slow-mo long hits and just flailing at points. So it was wanting that balance of really good or I don't want to say good, but very traditional film choreography versus anime choreography, which was just a really heavy balance. And trying to get that was, well, something I don't think anyone's ever done before, really. So it was a lot of it. This was just breaking new ground, and again, just trusting Joey's vision of. No, it's gonna look good. It's gonna look good, and I'm like sitting there, slowly moving my hand or my whole body, really slowly, trying to sell the slow motion.
With like epic neck, like so damn good. Keo, I'm wondering if you got any highlights from the production in terms of seeing things pre-edit as these things are happening in front of you. Any highlights you could remember from your time on set of just the ridiculousness that you must have witnessed?
So like. Different like fight scenes were some of the funnest times, like going from when Netkid fought the first thug with and him bringing out special tools or whatever, and then you go to another scene where it's like everything's fast in the first one, and then the next one everything's slow, or some kind of mix between them, and it was just always like this. I don't know what pandering or something like to each one. Like it was never the same.
Yeah,
and that's probably my favorite part.
Yeah, absolutely. And the variation that went on was so clear. I'm curious, Joey, did you like storyboard the shit out of this thing? Because like doing so much in post, I got to imagine that you had like, it feels like you had a really clear vision for like every single shot. Was that your experience, or was there some like movie magic that I'm giving too much credit for?
Technically, nothing was storyboarded. There was shot lists. I can't draw, and I don't know anyone who is going to sit there and draw out drawings for like a near 3-hour show. So I pretty much came up with every shot, and like some of them made it in, some of them didn't. Some of them we actually collaborated as a team to like get to work, because like you have these ideas in your head, and then you get on set and you're like, no, it doesn't work. So you got to figure out a way to make it work. And so, like, while like most of everything was storyboarded, shot listed, some of it was kind of like on the fly. Weston talked a little bit about the fights, the fighting styles. Most of it was made up on the fly. That's one thing I kind of wish.
Wow.
Yeah. Which was really cool because we got to collaborate with a lot of really talented martial artists. I would have liked to come up with like the fighting style beforehand, but it unfortunately just didn't work out that way due to time constraints and stuff like that. But on that end, I think things still turned out well, and it was really fun just kind of coming up with things, collaborating with everyone on both like the different shots and like the different fighting styles and stuff like that. So if that answers that question.
Yeah, I think totally. I'm still flabbergasted. I think it's because I may have grown up on Long Island, but I spent like a decade in Western New York going to high school and then college. And I've been involved in, and actually I think I might be assuming here, where was this filmed?
Where wasn't it filmed, guys? It was.
Was it like a general geographic area?
Yeah, it was mostly around Western New York. Some of it was shot in Buffalo. Some out in was it Attica / Orangeville, where the majority of it takes place. It's like this weird border where we were at. It's actually our church ground that let us film this. I don't even think they know exactly what we filmed, to be quite honest with you. But they're just like, you can use the property. Go ahead, just make sure you lock up at the end. And
bro, you said it was an act of God how it came together. That was why.
Where else? We shot. Was there any other? I'm trying to think. Oh, in Niagara Falls. We shot a couple scenes in Niagara Falls, which was at Billy's studio there.
Yeah,
Just because the general point I was going to throw out is I've been involved in plenty of films, short and long, in Western New York, and the scrappiness of it. Granted, there's fantastic filmmakers out there, but I've been involved on some like real messy, chaotic sets where, you're really just kind of working your way through. You got to make this stuff up on the spot. And I cannot stress how well this worked through the grace of God for my neck, because it really doesn't feel that way. And I think it's a testament to the editing that it came together like this. In terms of the selling the genuineness of all these lines, Weston, there are certain things like when the neck counter is introduced. So in the art of necking, when you're fighting and trying to hit the back of your opponent's neck, each hit does like Borderlands or like RPG style, like a minus number next to them in their like neck life point total, like it's Yu-Gi-Oh! And only when you see the math, like letting you know that they're on the last point of their neck life, do they disintegrate and explode in a cloud of dust like fucking Sonic rings. And this is all explained to you, like the way that this is written, Joey, of the grossly direct exposition from the Neckmaster at the beginning of just like, remember about the neck counter. Remember, this is called like a fallen shit. Funniest shit I've seen in my life, man. And it's just Weston, I need to know, how did you sell this so genuinely? As someone who wasn't crazy experienced with anime before, what was it like providing logic in selling this? Because I know a lot of less brave actors that would just bullshit their way through it, would like not believe in the end product. How'd you get there, man?
I don't know. I think it took a lot of takes. I remember. I remember breaking a lot. Maybe not on the exposition stuff, but definitely on the like very goofy stuff where like I'd chucking cabbage at the other actors. I'd break all the time. But and it helped doing the finally recording the audio after filming completely. And we were just in a sound studio for filming recording all the audio for the lines again and the voiceovers. But yeah, on set doing all that, the exposition and making it believable. I think from like the little anime I had watched and the instruction I had received on from my professors who I just graduated, so I still had all my notes and stuff still, which helped. On set, I could look at my notes and be like, okay, this is gotta really believe this, gotta sell it through the energy. And that I think that helped a lot, like actually not approaching it like a cartoon, and treating it like Hamlet, but and not treating.
I get what you mean.
You know what I mean?
No,
just
I get what you mean.
Believing it and selling.
That sounds
it,
insane to someone who doesn't have like the training, but you're completely right that. I feel like your performance won me over, and I think tied it together. And as Joey said, you are Neck Kid, because you didn't treat it with like special anime gloves. You understood the assignment so goddamn well. And when you're acting across like Marcus, screaming like you were 4 hours late to fucking practice today. There's just these little indulgences where my neck, it's normally not rolling its eyes at itself. The meta commentary there, it's like you're aware of the tropes, but normally there's not like a winking to the camera. But little moments like that and the extreme amount of profanity from Elitist Neck, it really feels like the perfect blend of like you showed so much restraint with like the level of memery you could have experienced, and then when you just let go, it's like a swarm of locusts. And I loved it.
Yeah,
so good. Anyway, sorry, go ahead, Weston. I kind of a monologue just because I like the show so much. I'm gushing too much.
No, you're exactly right. It was just a labor of love, in that just finding that balancing act and finding the proper the time to let go, but also the time not to let go. I didn't want to be like a schmackty or it's just a term we used in school a lot, or like I wanted there to be those meat and potatoes. I remember you saying that a lot back in school. I wanted there to be that real connection to the character, and I wanted that, but I also wanted it to be silly, and he was obviously someone you can just like laugh at, like, what a dumbass. But yeah. He was like, oh, he's a lovable dumbass, and I genuinely attached to him. And that's what I tried to bring to the character, not just, oh, he's just acting like a dork. Like, you see guys like that on YouTube, and they'll make funny skits. I can tell they're having fun, but, you know, they're not in the shoes of the character. They're not really acting. They're cosplaying or something. And I didn't want it to be that. I wanted it to be an actual real person there who was a meme at times, but still had genuine connection.
yeah, absolutely. I would love to hear, just because I know I have specific moments I could gush about so much. Starting with Kyo, is there any moment that you are especially fond of in the series as it turned out? Just like this moment, my favorite moment in my neck, my favorite gag in my neck, anything like that. That just sounds weird. My favorite gag in my neck. Hell yeah. It's staying in. It's staying in, baby. The gag is staying in my neck. Yeah, whenever you're ready, boss.
I was thinking about it while Weston was talking, and one of the first moments that always pops into my head is the first time Talika, Weston, and Elitist all get like really serious, like before everything goes down, and like when we were shooting that scene after one of the big fights, it was like it went from like something like really funny and crazy to like this really emotional moment, and that was probably my favorite day filming, as well as like watching everyone shift so dramatically between each scene was just really amazing. And I was just really glad that we had these three as our main, because it was beautiful the entire time.
That's such a fantastic answer, and I'm really glad that you brought home the pathos of the show, because it's not all gags. There definitely is that at its core. Joey, I know asking a director and writer to like pick his favorite is like pick your favorite kid, but do you have one that stands out?
The only one that just there's like tons and tons, but hearing Kyo speak, one of my favorite things from my neck would probably be the end scene of episode 3 after they fight Will. Yeah,
the guy with the goggles.
Yeah, the
neck brace.
The neck brace guy.
Yeah. When Elitist, Neck Kid, and Neck Ninja all come together and they kind of like debrief. The moments between the three of them are easily like my favorite, and that particular scene has them like go back and forth with each other, and it displays their characters and personality of each actor like so perfectly for the character, and it like, I don't know, man, it's magical to me seeing it all come together, like being there. You're doing different takes, so it's like you don't know exactly how it's going to come out, like sometimes like it's not going linear like in a timeline like when you see it on the show. So like you're doing takes, you're backtracking, you're doing repeating lines from like 2 hours ago, that sort of thing. But like seeing it all come together, it's like that part's like really magical, and seeing the three of them kind of bounce off each other is easily my favorite thing. I want to see more of those three together.
Yeah, hell yeah. Weston, how about you?
Aside from, or if we're just talking on screen, because I think some of my favorite moments were just behind the scenes, and not just the cast, but also all the crew just becoming just this family for a summer and a half. Those moments are so good, and a lot of them made it into the show, which is probably is my favorite. Seeing the end credits and also the intro of all of the wacky stuff I was doing to either like get into character or practice being that kid. Joey, you were filming that? Those were so funny, but also, I'm trying to think of some of the scenes of the three of us either debriefing or training were really good. I think one that was my favorite though, maybe because I just stopped and watched it, was when we're fighting the king. Or spoilers. When we're the last fight, and I call him racist. And he's like, I'm not racist. I don't like specific neck types. And I'm like, oh, so you're neckist. Oh, and then I have that realization. Oh no, wait, no, that's what the whole thing just breaks, and you have that like the roll the eyes moment at that. That was probably my favorite because I've been like going over that
kid thing.
Yeah, I've just been going over that like in my head. I remember that week just obsessed with that line and like thinking about how we're gonna read it. And I think we read it like 5 different ways on set, but that came together like chef's kiss perfectly. I love it. It's probably my favorite. That gets me a genuine laugh every time. Still.
Yeah. This is filled with just so many great moments like that, and talking about things that weren't in the script that made it in. Weston had told me that the flower pot scene with the porch guy was not scripted but made it in. Joey, I'm wondering, do you have any memories of like any more things that they're not in the script but you saw it happen, you saw the improv, and you're like, that has to make it in?
I would say that's a good question. Been like staring at it for so long. That was very
complicated to try.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly like what was improv, what was scripted at this point.
I remember a few of them because I did it a lot. Like there's the golf ball line.
The golf ball. There's also the scene when you drag Talika off set.
We were just watching it. I could not remember why I do that.
I think she couldn't be there.
It was just random.
No, there totally was a reason. It was I think she couldn't be there the next day that we were filming, and we still needed like you guys to still be there, so we had to like drag her off set so that that way we could film Elitist Neck and the last guy's final battle together. And so you wouldn't see her in the background. And so then then we put her back.
That's what I thought, but it's so funny.
Yeah, there was a reason for it.
I want to give a shout out to like the rest of the main ensemble cast who played like Ninja Neck, Neckmaster, and Elitist Neck. What are their names as actors? Because they were fantastic.
Yeah, so Bill Reynolds plays Neckmaster. Marcus Thompson plays Elitist Neck. Talika, I'm terrible with her last name. It's Setchan. I think, sorry if I messed that up, I'm terrible with names. She plays Neck Ninja. Michael Cowell plays Porch Guy. Yes, Alexandra Welch,
yep.
plays Jules. Jason John Beebe plays Tim. Chris Fortin plays Will. I'm trying to think of who else. Because we although we had such a small cast, there were still so many people that were in it.
Yeah. We'll make sure to give everybody a shout out in the description, definitely, because just really fantastic work. I specifically wanted to focus on the moment that I was like fully turned from, is this show going to just be some silly bullshit versus is it going to become something incredibly special, was the moment of episode 1. It's not quite a spoiler to say because it's such a trope, but the tragic death of Neckmaster, as I believe it's that Elitist Neck is on the ground, having been G-rushed by John Cristiano, and he's about to be completely eliminated. He is about to take the death blow, and Master Neck blocks it, not with his hand or his leg blocking the blow. He chooses to block it with the back of his neck also. And when I see that he is teleported behind Marcus, when he's teleported behind Elitist Neck, and he's blasted the own back of his neck off, and that suddenly, what we've never seen before, the math equation appears, and it's well known that it's like, oh, the algebra only shows up when you're gonna die. So why this transcended it to becoming a special thing is that then the Neckmaster explodes, as those who lose their last neck points are wont to do, and the performance from Marcus legitimately mourning and yelling over Neckmaster was incredibly affecting. And this was obviously a brilliant acting choice by Marcus, and there's a lot of great acting choices in the show, but I think that this was also a really, really smart directorial choice from you, Joey, because choosing to allow there to be these anchoring moments where the world feels real, watching this, it feels like you're a kid again, and you're giving yourself permission to play. You're giving yourself permission to be uncynical and enjoy this thing and have fun. And this made anime magical in a way that it when you become a jilted old degenerate crusty weeb like myself, it rarely is. And so again, just huge kudos, because really, really excellent.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I was going to say one of my favorite moments was Neckmaster's death, with both Marcus' performance and mine, trying to make that not a meme or anything, but that genuine sadness and mourning was insane on set, because I remember him and I prepping ourselves, because we often talked about acting techniques and getting into character and like that, and we were both feeling very heavy after those scenes, dealing with that. And the scene after that, when we're on the dock and he'll adopt me, the thing with that, and we were both very heavy hearted and spent after those scenes, which was such a not the word, but a credit to Marcus as an actor. Absolutely.
Yeah, and just really excellent work all around. I can't be effusive about this enough. As we're kind of reaching towards the end of the interview, I gotta say, Joe, you had mentioned that you would love to see these characters again. Is there ever a chance that we get My Neck 2? Or is it on to different pastures? Is it more like maybe you'd love to work with the actors again, but there are different ideas you're working on now?
I don't have any official statements on that. I would obviously love to continue the story. I would love to see all the actors come together, whether it be for this project or another. This was easily, working with everyone, it's easily my favorite project, my favorite group of people. Weston said it best when working on this. It didn't just feel like we were a family. It felt like like one giant team as well. Like we were a family, working towards a single goal. And I think the end product, in my opinion, really shows testament to that. just because everyone put in so much time, work, literal blood, sweat, and tears to make the thing happen. And we definitely formed like a bond, a family around that. But yeah, I would love to like work with everyone who was involved again. It was such a enriching experience to me, very, very personal. And I cherish every single moment we had on set. I still think about it all.
And that definitely comes through. And the way that you all are interacting, we've had people who've worked on the same project before on the show, and I can already sense a lot of like love and comfort from you, and like a genuine friendship between each other. And that's like it's really great to see that you all came together so closely on set.
Oh, I do want just a huge credit to Joey. The balancing act of like that scene in The Lion King where like a mouse is like holding up a city or something like that. That is what Joey did on set. He got us lunch. He produced everything. He balanced all of our schedules. Was filming. He was the director. He was DPing with no assistance practically. And bring not just the cast together, but he was balancing the schedules of all the crew, getting makeup on set, getting the PAs here, and while holding the camera the whole time. I remember him doing lunch orders with one hand and holding the camera with the other. Like
I don't remember that.
I remember you doing like on multiple occasions, while also getting a sunburn. And I think like once in a while he's like, "Hey, can someone hold an umbrella over me?" Because we were out in the sun. My gosh, but like. Sending us to go have lunch while he needs to finish the scene. Just the amount of dedication not all of us put in, but especially Joey. Like a huge praise to you, my guy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Weston. That means a lot.
That's kind of the one of the best closing lines I could hope for. That expression of gratitude and kindness, Weston. Really good shit. We love positivity here on Brotakus. I like that a lot. Let's go edit together real nice. So everybody, rounding out today, again, I personally have like 9,000 questions I want to ask you individually about just the choices in production. This is so good, and I really heartily recommend everybody out there, please go buy my neck. Like this is well worth it for the price of admission. You're getting like 3 hours of excellent contact available on Amazon Video. It's so good. But ending off today, considering that this is all about kind of the love for anime and the passion and the aesthetic, I'm curious if there is one show, one anime that you love that you could recommend for somebody to watch, a thing that, whether it's well-known, hidden gem, what would it be? And Keo, I'm kind of curious, I haven't heard from you in a while, if you got one on deck.
The one that always comes to mind that I ranted and raved about for like a year and a half, maybe even 2 years, is called Your Lie in April. It's one that if you really love music, if you love like seeing like a lot of passion in a project, like that's definitely in my top 3 of anime of all time.
I think that's the favorite anime of one of our other co-hosts, actually. So fantastic choice. I haven't seen it. I gotta watch it. Joey, you got one?
I'll say 2. The obvious one, Naruto. Go watch Naruto if you haven't already seen it. The second one, it's not really a hidden gem, but people that I talk to, they just haven't watched it for whatever reason. Soul Eater. I don't even see merch for it. I don't see anyone talking about it anymore, but I just finished it not too long ago. It's easily one of my favorite anime now. The cast for it it's like my neck, the anime almost. At least in terms of the character and in the tone of it. Check out Soul Eater. It's great.
I do want to see an anime adaptation of my neck now that you mentioned that. Like maybe we got to get the Kickstarter going for that.
We have it already. It's called Attack on Titan.
Oh my god! Yeah, it's a 1-to-1 adaptation. It's a 1-to-1 adaptation. Weston, I know you're newer to this weeb life than the rest of the gang, but what do you got? Give us that fresh pair of eyes.
My first anime that like is still my favorite that I still haven't finished. It's Fairy Tail. That like is the anime that hooked me, that gets me to cry every single episode, is Violet Evergarden on Netflix. I don't know if not a lot of people have seen it yet, but tearjerker every single episode. It's hands down, like, the quality was just amazing. But I've expanded my horizons since the show, or since my neck, and have watched Oran Host Club. That's one of my favorites too.
Hell yeah. Good taste all around, I gotta say. Those are some great recommendations. And y'all, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on. I want to make sure that the people out there know where to find you. So whether it's where they could find you on social media, upcoming projects, kind of want to know what you got so people can support you. Keo, you got anything you want to share? I know you mentioned you were starting streaming soon.
I normally stream in the evening. I'm at Kyo Takashi on Twitch, and I try to stream usually every night. I dance and I kind of fuck around in VR.
Hell yeah. And I gotta say, you gotta see this VR experience because it's fantastic. This has brought so much joy to me to do this. Weston, where can we find?
I'm at the _Weston Young on all my social platforms. And you can see a lot of my upcoming projects on Instagram and Facebook. Upcoming, I've soon to be released short film Goldenrod, which I'm really proud of. Keep eyes out for a vampire horror flick called Bloodfly. I think those are the ones that come to mind. But I got a few things upcoming. But those are
Paladin.
Oh, Paladin! Thank you for reminding me. Yeah. Paladin: The Brotherhood. It's a medieval web series that's coming out later this year.
Hell yeah. Is that something you're involved in, Joe, or you're just something you know of?
So I see it all over my Facebook and Instagram, and it looks so good. I can't wait to see it. I seen the pilot episode, and I'm psyched to see the rest.
Yes, Pilot is out right now on YouTube, but yeah.
Well, congratulations on being booked and blessed, Weston, the quintuple threat. Fantastic stuff. And for writer, editor, director, producer, lunch provider extraordinaire, Joey, the amazing work you put into this, it can't be understated. Where can people find you? How can they support you?
Support us by buying my neck, currently on Amazon. We would love to make more of it, obviously. But you can find us in our other projects or on YouTube, Twitter. I think we're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Just type in Real Life Glitch Entertainment, and that's where you'll find all our things. So go check that out. We do have a project coming out, or not coming out. Can't announce it yet, but there is something in the works. That's as much as I can say. Hell yeah.
I like the mystery. I can't wait to check it out. Damn, well, Keo, Weston, Joey, thank you all so much for coming on today. I am such a genuine fan of yours, all of the work that you put in. This has been so fantastic. So thank you all so much for coming on. This has been a blast. It really has.
Thank you so much for having us, Pax.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a blast.
Absolutely overjoyed. So with that, it is closing time to close up shop, gang. So heading into the outro, thank you all so much for listening. If you like what you heard, please give us a 5-star rating on your favorite podcasting app or a review. Leave a comment and a like on YouTube. And if you really want to help the show, the greatest thing you could do is share it with somebody you think would like it. It really does make a difference, and we appreciate the support. But the support I would appreciate more is if you get out there and buy my neck immediately. This show slaps so fucking hard. Please. We need to get some eyes on this thing. We need to see at least a neck OVA, at least a new My Neck movie, some type of content. It truly is a wonderful special thing, and I can't recommend it enough. So with that said, all right, I'm Pax, and this is Brotakus. See y'all next week. Bye. The bye is always like a weird thing. I don't know what to do. It's just a music outro, but I always feel the need to do something extra I cut out in post. But
Get your neck.
Okay, cool. All right.